What's happening, folks? Pack Ripper here. Today I have not so much a card thing. I want to actually do a little questionnaire. I want to follow in the footsteps of Mr. Jfeinable and get to know y'all a little bit better. And I guess at the same time, let you know about me. I mean, the past couple of videos I've done, I've kind of talked about my beginning and which ones really started it all for me and which ones are my favorite. Talking mostly about the very older sets. I really wanted to ask y'all a few questions, and if you're interested at all, I'd really like to hear your feedback on it. I want to know why everybody started PokeTubing in the first place. I want to know if it was because you wanted to get better trades. Is it because you wanted to scam the hell out of people? Is it because you wanted to just show off, or maybe have some archives for your for the future or whatever, in case you sell them all, or for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody's got different reasons, but I'd like to know your reason in particular. And I'd like to know what got you started into Pokemon. What was the thing? Was it the anime show? Was it a certain plushie that somebody gave you? Was it the video games? Was it just your own personal creativity come to life in these things? Which I feel I have. What was your first rare? What was the first rare that you got out of a booster pack, and which booster pack was it? And those are the kind of questions. I'll go ahead and list them down at the bottom again, but I'm going to kind of go through them one more time, and I'm going to give you my explanation just so y'all know where I'm standing on all these issues. I don't want to be taking a survey of people without them knowing the answers that I have to give. Okay, so what got me into PokeTubing? I went to a Comic-Con this past January in New Orleans. Okay, my fiance got me the tickets. She knew I was a big old nerd at heart, so she indulged that, and she got me some tickets. And I was having a real good time there. It was fun seeing everybody, and everybody all dressed up, and I actually stayed at the Magic the Gathering table for a little bit. But then I saw this guy, and he had probably 300 different holograph Pokemon cards all laid out on a table. And boy, when I saw that, holy cow. I didn't even see the prices that were labeled on them. I was just like, wow, wow, wow. I really need to do this again. And I could not be pulled away from that table. I must have stayed at the table for like 45, 50 minutes, asking him about all these new cards that I haven't seen, and, just really, really curious. So I wound up buying a Jolteon, a Blaine's Arcanine, and a Charizard. And I swear, once I got those cards, it was all over for me. I went home that day, I pulled out all my stuff, and I looked at all the cards that I had, and I went and looked up the prices and stuff. We actually sat down together and looked up all the prices and stuff. Found out that I had quite a good collection of cards, and I went through them again because I saw some of them were nicked up or had like a little sparkly on it. So I started over again. I wanted to have like a really good collection, like the one that I could never afford when I was younger. So when I saw PokeTubing, it was because I was just searching in cards. I was just typing in, what I was, I guess what I was missing. And then I found people like, the Slayer of MCA, and PokePix, which is now PokePix PSA, and then I meet cool people like Jfeinable1991, and I think I won a raffle from Agro Emperor. So, so it kind of all snowballed. It was just so quick and cool, and I wind up having raffles and stuff. I had no idea how it happened. It just all of a sudden kind of got catapulted back into this thing that I really, really loved and still do, really do. And what got me started was I guess the physical thing. Let me move my guy real quick. My mom was a single mom with 3 boys. Okay, I was the oldest. I had 2 younger brothers, and at the time I was probably feeling like I was a little too old for Pokemon when it first came out. And my brothers, however, 4 and 8 years younger than me, had no problem getting into it and watching the shows, and I enjoyed them as well, and I loved the video games. I really, really dug the video games. The card thing just didn't hit me on the right note, and I remember my mom coming up to me. She's like, Jason, these are very, very expensive cards, and there's like this whole hullapalooza about them right now. She goes, why don't you keep an eye on your brothers and make sure they're making good trades, make sure they're not just giving all their good stuff away. I was like, okay, that's a legitimate reason. So I started. So that's how I kind of got into the whole Pokemon collecting thing, just overlooking my siblings, But I finally gave in one day, and I went down to the store and I bought myself a booster pack, and it was a jungle booster pack. And I went through them all, and this was my first rare. It was a Pinsir, and this is actually the same card that I pulled. And now, for whatever, I mean, it's not the best condition, but it's got, it's pretty crappy. It's got scratches, it's got dirt all over it and stuff, but it's really cool to me just because and it's not even that cool of a card, it's just a plain rare, but it means a lot, just because I remember going through it, and I remember them teaching me, oh, this is a common, this is an uncommon, this is where the set is, these are its attacks, this is what you do, and it was just a really cool experience, just learning about these new things, and I had no idea that I was going to be so into these, But yeah, so I've really hoped you've enjoyed this testimony of mine. I guess I'd really like to hear yours. I would email or PM everybody personally and do this, but I think this is just an easier way to kind of be informed. So I mean, I'd really like to hear your comments and what it is that this means to you, this whole thing, and I wanted to do also I know he's asking for a legitimate shout out video for his raffle that is going on right now, but I'm not going to count this at that, nor am I going to be looking for those additional slots for this, but I did want to give a big shout out to Jfeinable1991. He's kind of been an encouraging PokeTuber of mine, just because he really does legitimately care about this place, and he's got this crazy idea that we're all going to have this huge convention one day, and I am totally for that. I hope it happens one day. I hope we have our own damn PokeTubing convention, and we could just all meet, and I don't know, it'd just be a lot cooler, just to have maybe a once a year, once every 2 year kind of thing, and so I think it's an awesome idea, but he's one of the people who got me into this and is keeping me in this, But anyway, if you haven't already, please go check him out, Jfeinable1991. I'll go ahead and put his channel down at the bottom in the description, along with the questions that I'd really like to hear from you guys. So if you could, let me know, and thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.